Well...
Hey toy fans, Aaron here, and today we're going to take a look at the 3 3/4 inch Power of the Jedi Tusken Raider. So let's head to that table and check them out. Here's a look first at the card. It's that green Power of the Jedi line. Really a nice looking card. You got Darth Vader and Obi-Wan in that upper left corner to help brand it. Each figure in the line also came with what they were calling the Jedi Force file. That was a little booklet of a few pages giving you some information about the figure. And then of course along the right side you see the figure packed in the bubble that you're getting. And then taking a look at the backside, you get a pretty big checklist of other figures that were available around that time frame. This particular figure was released in 2000, so these are the figures that you would be finding on the shelves around then. That upper right side, you get a little write-up about what Hasbro, I guess, is kind of trying to do with this line, bringing figures from the Phantom Menace, A New Hope, Empire, and Jedi. This was the line of figures after the Episode 1 release, so this is really just kind of bringing everything back into the fold on the shelves, really. And in the lower right side, you see the little backside of that Force file that gets you that write-up information about the Tusken Raider. And this line also did have Jedi Master Points, and you got 10 of those, which got you nothing. Nothing ever came of those points, so that was a lot of cutting out and collecting I did for nothing. Taking a look at the figure out of the packaging, you know, it's pretty cool looking. It's not the greatest figure ever produced, but it's by far not the worst figure either, but I do think it is a decent looking figure. This particular version of the Tusken Raider is based off his appearance in Episode 1, where he's shooting at the pod races as they're going by. No outer robe to him, which is fine. Going in on the head sculpt, things are looking pretty good here. Those bandages have a lot of kind of dirt wash to it. You see the silver painted spikes sticking out of the head. That's all nice looking. Around the face area, those brown bandages look good. A little bit of a darker burgundy around that mouth area. Silver painting around the eyes and those silver parts coming out of the cheek all look really good through there. At the middle of the body, the arm is already kind of pre-sculpted to hold that long rifle that he comes with. The look of the molded fabric throughout that area looks very nice. And his bandolier has a nice paint job to it. Everything's pretty nice and tight through the lines with the separation of the colors. The belt around the waist area has a pretty good paint job to it. It appears to be like a different painted color anyways. And waist down, the wrap of his robes looked really good. Again, that's just molded plastic there, but still has pretty good detailing and molding to the fabric look. Down at the bottom, you got that little tattered look molded in there. And even though you really can't tell, maybe you can kind of see the bottoms of the feet. Underneath that robe, the legs on down through the feet have that wrapped bandage look. As for the articulation of the figure, it's not too bad. That head does swivel pretty nicely side to side. As for the shoulders, both arms do go up and down. At the elbow area of the right arm, you're able to move that around side to side. No wrist articulation at that right arm, it just stays put. But on his left arm, no elbow articulation, but you are able to swivel that wrist all the way around. And then at the waist area, he's got his articulation there. You're able to twist him around side to side. As for the legs, this robe is split down on the sides. So you're able to move the legs forward and back a little bit. So obviously it still hinders the movement, but you're able to get the figure standing in a pretty good pose no matter what. Now the only accessory this figure comes with is that long sniper rifle as we saw in Episode 1. Off the top of my head, I don't think any of the Tusken Raiders had the gaffy stick. Molding detail looks pretty good, and you do have a little bit of kind of like a sand wash to it along the bottom side of the weapon. Aside from that, no painting, it's just molded gray plastic, aside from that sand wash. And even though he's got some of that added elbow articulation, it doesn't really help you kind of get a figure in the sniping pose. You're not able to recreate him laying down on the ground or anything. But he does still look cool holding that weapon down along his waist. And here's a look at the Jedi Force File booklet that came with the figures, and all the figures in this line anyways. A nice image of the Tusken Raider. And it does open up. And as you can see, you got some statistics in there, some skills information about the Tusken Raider, the gear they use, the tech they have. And what do we got? A little thing to join the Jedi Quest Kids Club. And then on the back side, you got some various aliens and enemies, the adventures they do, and more about them. Anyways, so that's that. So overall, not too shabby of a figure, I think. I kind of like it. Like I said, it's not the best. Certainly not the worst version of a Tusken Raider figure we've received. And if I'm remembering correctly, this is, or was, only the second release in the modern line of the Tusken Raider. So I think it was an improvement over the version on the orange card. And so that wraps up this look at the Power of the Jedi Tusken Raider figure. I'd love to know your thoughts on it in the comment section below. And as always, thanks for watching.